You do not hunt what you cannot see. That is the oldest rule of war at sea. It is older than steel ships, older than engines, older than submarines themselves. For centuries, darkness belongs to the hunter. Fog hides mistakes. Night erases witnesses. The ocean swallows evidence. And by 1939, no one believes this more deeply than the men of Germany's U-boat arm. Submarine warfare depends on invisibility. You strike without warning. You disappear before the enemy understands what happened. Surface ships are loud, predictable, blind at night. Destroyers rely on lookouts and moonlight. Sonar struggles at speed. Depth charges are dropped on guesses, not certainty. German naval doctrine teaches this as an unbreakable truth. At night, the sea belongs to the wolf. U-boat commanders are trained to surface after dark. They recharge batteries. They attack convoys from point-blank range. They slip away untouched. British convoys may have escorts, but in darkness those escorts are nearly helpless. This belief hardens into confidence. Confidence becomes arrogance. Arrogance becomes doctrine. So when rumors spread of Allied radio detection devices, when whispers of something called radar circulate, U-boat crews dismiss it. Radio waves scatter over water. Early sets are unreliable. Too crude. Too slow. Too inaccurate. A bluff. A gimmick. Certainly not something that can see a submarine at night. The Atlantic remains a hunter's paradise. But in 1942, something begins to feel wrong. Not in reports. Not in headquarters. But out on the water. Because one night, one watch officer looks into total darkness. And realizes the darkness is looking back. You are Carl Friedrich Merton. You are 26 years old. You are not a famous ace. You are not a celebrated captain. Your name will never headline a propaganda poster. You are a watch officer. That means you stand on the bridge at night. You scan the horizon. You judge distance, speed, angle. You decide when to attack, and when to vanish. If you are wrong, everyone dies. You serve aboard a Type 7 U-boat, the backbone of Germany's submarine fleet. Steel hull. Length, 67 meters. Crew, 44 men. Inside, the air is thick with diesel fumes and sweat. There is no privacy. No silence. No darkness, only red lights and shadows. By 1941 and early 1942, the U-boats are winning. America is unprepared. Its coastline glows at night. Merchant ships sail independently. Sinkings happen within sight of shore. U-boat crews call it Die Glücklichkeit, the happy time. But slowly, patterns change. Convoys tighten. Escorts multiply. And most troubling of all, destroyers begin to turn directly toward U-boats at night. Not searching. Not guessing. Driving. Merton notices it first during North Atlantic patrols. Ships maneuver earlier than expected. Depth charges fall closer. Attacks feel deliberate. This should not be possible. Radar, German command insists, is unreliable at sea. Especially at night. Especially in bad weather. Yet the evidence keeps mounting. And then comes the patrol that changes everything. November 1942. The North Atlantic is restless. Waves rise 3 meters high. Cloud cover breaks and reforms. There is no moon. Perfect hunting conditions. U-boat U-221 surfaces to recharge batteries. Time, 23:40 hours. Speed, full diesel. Visibility, near zero. Merton stands on the bridge. Salt stings his eyes. Cold spray soaks his collar. The engines vibrate through his boots. He scans the horizon. Nothing. Then, movement. An Allied escort changes course. Merton freezes. There is no silhouette. No wake. No phosphorescence. Yet the destroyer turns directly toward them. Distance closes. 5,000 meters. 4,500. 4,000. This is not random. Merton feels it before he understands it. They know where we are. He alerts the captain. The destroyer accelerates. 3,000 meters. Too fast. Too precise. Merton realizes the truth with sudden clarity. They were seen, on the surface, in total darkness. Radar. He shouts the order. Alarm. Dive. Hatches slam shut. Air screams through vents. The boat tilts downward. Depth, 20 meters. 40. 60. The hydrophone operator stiffens. Escort directly above us. The first depth charge detonates. The sound is physical. A hammer blow to the chest. Lights flicker. Valves shriek. Second explosion. Closer. Third. They are walking the charges in. This is not blind luck. This is calculation. The hull flexes. Paint flakes from the ceiling. Bolts groan under pressure. Crewmen grip pipes. Someone prays. Someone vomits. Failure feels certain. Then, silence. The destroyer overshoots. U-221 sinks deeper. Slower. Silent running. 2 hours pass. No sound. They survive. But the rule is dead. The ocean is no longer blind. Carl Friedrich Merton does not report what happened as a miracle. He reports it as a problem. He writes that the escort arrived too fast. That its approach was too direct. That the depth charges were placed too precisely. He does not use the word radar. But every officer reading the report understands what it implies. Because Merton is not alone. Across the Atlantic, U-boat patrol logs begin to change tone. Captains write the same phrases again and again. Escort appeared suddenly. Attack commenced immediately. Surface contact detected at night. This is not coincidence. This is a pattern. The enemy learns to see. Think about what radar actually means. For the first time in naval history, a ship does not need eyes. It sends out invisible radio pulses. Those pulses strike steel. They return. Distance. Bearing. Speed. At night. In fog. In rain. By 1942, British and American escorts carry surface search radar sets like Type 271 and SG radar. They are crude by modern standards, but deadly. A surfaced U-boat is no longer invisible. It is a glowing target. Countdown, a night engagement. Another patrol. Another night. Time, 1:15 hours. U-boat surfaces to recharge. Radar contact appears aboard an Allied destroyer. Range, 10,000 yards. The escort turns. 8,000 yards. 6,000. The U-boat crew has no idea they are detected. They think they are alone. 4,000 yards. The destroyer increases speed. 2,500. Now the radar operator refines the picture. Target heading confirmed. Target speed confirmed. 1,500 yards. The escort opens fire. Shells slam into water around the submarine. Only now does the U-boat realize it is being hunted. Dive alarm. Too late. Depth charges fall within seconds. This sequence repeats, night after night. The sky joins the hunt. But radar is only the beginning. What U-boat crews do not know, at first, is that the sky has joined the battle. Long-range patrol aircraft begin carrying radar too. B-24 Liberators. Catalinas. They sweep the Atlantic Gap. At night, radar detects surface submarines from above. U-boats dive. Aircraft drop flares. Escorts converge. The hunter becomes the hunted. Escort carriers, the trap closes. Then comes the final shock. Escort carriers. Small. Slow. Numerous. They sail with convoys. Aircraft launch directly over shipping lanes. Now there is no safe moment. Day or night. Surface or submerged. Every decision drains batteries. Every dive steals speed. U-boats cannot outrun aircraft. They cannot outdive sonar forever. Wolfpack coordination collapses. Radio transmissions are intercepted using HF-DF, high-frequency direction finding. Every message becomes a beacon. German command urges aggression. But aggression only leads to more losses. Moment of near collapse. In March 1943, U-boat losses spike catastrophically. 43 submarines lost in 1 month. Crews vanish. Entire boats disappear without a trace. Veterans begin to hesitate before surfacing. New crews panic. Confidence evaporates. The Atlantic is no longer dark. It is hostile. It is watching. Failure feels certain. One patrol after another ends the same way. Surface. Radar contact. Attack. Depth charges. Sometimes escape comes. Often it does not. A single mistake, a late dive, a missed bearing, means death. No wreckage. No survivors. Just silence. What Carl Friedrich Merton experiences on a single night in 1942 does not stay isolated. It spreads. Slowly at first. Then all at once. By early 1943, German Naval Command can no longer ignore the numbers. In 1941, Germany loses 35 U-boats. In 1942, the number jumps to 87. By 1943, it explodes to 237 submarines lost in a single year. That is not attrition. That is collapse. The shock at headquarters. In Berlin, reports pile up. The same phrases appear again and again. Detected immediately after surfacing. Enemy escort arrived with impossible accuracy. Aircraft attack at night. Admiral Karl Donitz, commander of the U-boat arm, reads every report. At first, he refuses to believe them. Radar, he insists, is unreliable. Weather should interfere. Sea clutter should confuse it. But the losses continue. Entire patrol groups vanish. Veteran commanders, men who once stalked convoys with confidence, are gone. New crews arrive faster than training can keep up. Experience drains out of the fleet. The admission. By May 1943, Donitz faces reality. He writes to Naval High Command. The enemy sees us before we see them. Think about what that admission means. For the first time since the war began, Germany no longer controls the night. The core assumption of submarine warfare, that invisibility equals survival, is broken. Donitz orders a withdrawal from the North Atlantic. It is not a retreat. It is an acknowledgement of defeat. The strategic consequences. What they didn't know, at first, was how massive the ripple effect would be. With the Atlantic secured, Allied shipping explodes in volume. Troops, fuel, food, tanks, aircraft. By 1944, the Allies move over 2 million soldiers across the ocean. Factories in America run without fear of blockade. Britain breathes. And in June 1944, when Allied forces land in Normandy, they do so because the Atlantic belongs to them. Radar does not win the war alone. But without it, the war cannot be won. A war beneath the waves ends. U-boat crews know the truth before politicians admit it. Survivors speak later of the psychological shift. Before radar, night meant safety. After radar, night meant death. Every surfacing becomes a gamble. Every decision carries weight. And many do not return. Of the 40,000 men who serve in Germany's U-boat arm, over 30,000 die. That is a 75% casualty rate. One of the highest of any military branch in modern history. Carl Friedrich Merton survives the war. Many of his shipmates do not. He is 26 when the rule breaks. Barely 30 when the war ends. After 1945, he does not speak often about radar. He does not need to. Every submariner knows what happened. To this day, modern naval warfare is built on that moment. Radar, sonar, satellites, electronic surveillance. The ocean is no longer empty. It is observed, measured, watched. Why this story matters now. Think about the world today. Think about how often we assume invisibility, darkness, distance, silence. This story is a reminder. Technology changes rules faster than doctrine can adapt. Those who learn survive. Those who cling to old truths disappear beneath the waves. Closing CTAs. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the archives. If you want to join us on this mission, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or country, and tell us if someone in your family served at sea. Final line. Thank you for ensuring that Carl Friedrich Merton and the 30,000 U-boat sailors of the Kriegsmarine do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.